Hey everybody, Squeeble here. Got another game featuring Nikaray. This time he's facing Andromeda, and it's a great game. We'll see if Nikaray can get back on track, Can he right the ship and show everyone that he's the true rank 1 and, he's shaking off his rust. So, essentially can't get off to a better start here by draining the player off. A really great play, and I suspect Nikaray is going to run away and summon a minion. Again, Prot is an option here, but often summoning a minion that your opponent has to forcefully respond to can be a bit better. Prot's still not bad, but when you've got a minion like Pixies, yeah, definitely want to get those out early. For fear of not being able to get them out later, right? So, Nikaray gets the Pixies out, and Andromeda does this cool trick where you Ice Shield, and then he goes up to the top of the Ice Shield, and then Shock Bombs, and that actually won't hit him, and it'll kill every single one of the Pixies. So, how could Nick prevent this? Well, you can pretty much do that Ice Shield trick from anywhere. The thing that he could have done to prevent, quote-unquote, prevent the shock bomb is maybe summon the Pixies a little bit further away from him so that he can't get hit with the shock bomb and the Pixies can't get hit. But even then, I still think you can do this pretty much from anywhere. And the risk is maybe that you could get Blast from the Past and then flashed off. But if you can take their Pixies down, that's considered a pretty huge win, because Pixies are a great win con. At least in Nikaray's book, if you have Pixies, it's one of your big win cons alongside DK. So he makes a great play here, Ice Shielding and then Shock Bombing to kill all the Pixies and damage Nikaray there. So Nikaray doesn't have Flight now. He has to go for a slightly risky Blast from the Past, which flies up pretty high and then hits him. Deflights. Pretty impressive. I think it was just one tick to the right, not extended at all. So, good move by him there. And then he just summons a Swarm. I'm not sure about the placement there. Like, maybe he could have stood where he summoned the Swarm and then summoned the Swarm below the tree, because Swarm can go through the tree. Which, I mean, he's been away for months, so maybe doesn't remember that or didn't think of it in the moment. But, yeah, I question that just because it's easier for him to kill the Swarm the way that it's positioned there. Maybe you can summon it under the tree, and then it's basically impossible for Andromeda to kill. Next turn you can bring it up above the tree, and you've got a free Swarm out. But it's not terrible. The other issue, though, with that Swarm placement is when he trees, he's also trapped here, and if he summoned the Swarm below the tree, then let's say he summoned the Swarm like down here, where my cursor is, then Andromeda could tree the Swarm in, but Nikaray wouldn't be trapped. Now, okay, he's not trapped, because he could just Blast from the Past out, right? Which was an option there, to Blast from the Past out. But it's looking like at this point, because of the early side hide, Nikaray actually has his Aerial Pixies book, which has Rain of Fire, Rain of Arrows, Ray, Aura, Pixies. No Tower either. So at this point, Bandit is probably like, oh, okay, a Bandit is an Andromeda. Bandit's probably like, I bet he has this Aerial Pixies book. So gets a safe Swarm out. It is trapped, but hey, he knows Nikaray has an aerial book, so unfortunately for Nikaray, the Ray there doesn't do enough AoE, and he actually just freezes Swarm, and what's 50 damage? 50 damage isn't anything, right? And so it's actually a pretty unfortunate mistake for Nikaray here. And sorry, it looks like it's lagging a little bit, but Andromeda is actually accomplishing a lot in this turn. You notice he's got his swarm set up to ladder, and he's going to ladder down. And then after laddering, let's see what he does. Yeah, he's going to shock bomb stuff, which is really interesting. He's going to move the peg over, sink Nikaray, but then he gets to gate first, right? So he gates first, and then Nikaray gates again. And because he used his gate a couple turns ago, well, you know, he's now able to just get a huge advantage. He lost so much health, right? He's got no tower. And yeah, Nikaray just blasts from the pass out, but as I said, he's got no tower, so what's he gonna do? So anyway, really interesting game. Couple things that I just wanted to point out. First of all, this trick to shock bomb the pixies. Right here, what he just did to ice shield and then shock bomb the pixies is really smart. And then also the nice elevator to go down to Nikaray. This is probably the most impressive turn by Andromeda, is where he jumps his Pegasus out. Or actually, this is after he... Yeah, so once his swarm is free, the most impressive turn where he goes, he swarms the Pegasus, brings it back up, moves his Pegasus over to him, goes over to the tree, elevators the swarm down, shock bomb stuffs, and gets the gate off. I mean, you're doing a lot in 60 seconds there. And I bet Nikaray didn't anticipate that he could do all that quickly, right? And so he's able to get this stuff off, and it's right after a gate, and so that pretty much secures the win. And he blasts from the pass here, right, to just ensure that he can get the Dark Knight in a good spot. And also maybe a second blast from the pass might be able to get him through to Nikaray. Probably not, but it could get him close. So anyway, a couple of pretty impressive plays. He was just running the shock bomb, storm shield generic mix there. Got it. Made a couple of impressive plays. Nikaray made some slight mistakes that kind of snowballed, and yeah, Nikaray falls again. So we'll see. Does this trend keep up, or is he able to bounce back? And what a great game. Hope you guys enjoyed. It was a bit of a quicker video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.